Good evening, guys, and happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces, guys. I am I don't know, I'm just overwhelmed today, I think, and I did not get nearly as much done, I think, as I wanted to. I did 2 loads of dishes today, which was actually super awesome, and I also made dinner for tonight and ended up making mac and cheese. However, I think from doing dishes yesterday, and like I washed a ton of dishes, and then also washing dishes today after I made dinner, and also from making dinner yesterday, washing the dishes, and making dinner yesterday, and making dinner again today, I was doing a lot of like cutting and like a lot of using my arm and stuff like that. And I was telling you guys how on Sunday my arm, like my shoulder, it seemed like was just really bothering me after I was pulling all those nails out of the upstairs reno project, doing that. And so I was pulling a whole bunch of nails out with a hammer, and like I think I screwed something up sort of with my neck, and it actually seemed like it was more my shoulder, because then my mom ended up sort of massaging my neck, but when she was doing it, she was doing more my shoulder blade. That was actually what got I think the most relief, because I was having, like I said, I was sore really again today, and kind of started to get a little bit of a headache. Nothing like Monday, but was still, I felt like in some discomfort because of that, and just noticed it after I sort of made dinner and did all the dishes and like I said, that kind of stuff. And so but my mom ended up sort of giving me a neck massage again today, but she didn't do more like my shoulder blade like she kind of did on Monday, and it didn't really seem like it helped all too much. But the weirder thing is that this side of my neck is actually bothering me a little bit more than this side after she did it. So I'm wondering if I'm almost kind of compensating right now, and so now this side is bothering me more. So I don't know, and it's weird because I almost never get neck pain on this side because I'm right-handed. So I think as I do everything with my right hand, again too, and what I was doing with the hammer and like I said, pulling those nails out, I think was all caused from my right side. And now though that I think, like I said, I'm kind of overcompensating some, I'm having pain sort of on my left side, which like I said is not really normal. So yeah, like I said, I think I ended up kind of doing too much yesterday and then again today, and now I'm setting myself back. Whereas if I would have just maybe taken it easy the last day or two and not done quite as much, I potentially would probably be feeling a lot better than I am now. Whereas I feel like I'm starting to kind of, like I said, get in that, discomfort again a little bit. So anyways, that was one of the reasons why. I don't want to say I didn't get to much today, but I had a headache, and it just kind of lasted, was a dull headache kind of all day today. Again, nothing like Monday, but it was just kind of that annoyance that is just to kind of I'm just a little I don't know, on edge, I guess. Not on edge, but just cranky, I guess, a little bit too today, and just kind of out of it. But one of the big things today that I needed to kind of nail down, especially before tomorrow, is going to is making my grocery lists for the grocery store. So I was very overwhelmed just because there's so much stuff that's really going on between now and kind of next weekend. So on Sunday we've got we're going over to my cousin's house for her birthday. On, like I said, that's on Sunday. Then on Tuesday is the 4th of July. Then on the 8th, which I think is the following Saturday, we're going over to my other aunt and uncle's house for kind of a barbecue get together kind of thing with them. So and again too, not that that's a whole ton of stuff that's going on, but my grandparents are actually going to be coming over for the 4th of July as well. So and Matthew's girlfriend, so it's there's added people in addition to that. So it's not just it's oh, again, I remember there was one, again, I like to do 4th of July up a lot just because it's one of my favorite holidays, because I love grilling so much, and I just I think I was telling you guys this, I just like summer foods. I like grilled and cooked, and not even that too, pasta salads. I like the the fruits that are in season at that time. I like watermelon, I like berries, that kind of stuff. I'm just a big summer food person, which I think I was telling you guys too, is why I dislike my birthday so much because it's in November. It's right before Thanksgiving, and so my birthday was always associating with Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving food, and it was just one of my least favorites. I don't want to say my least favorite foods, but there was just a lot of foods that I either felt like I didn't like to eat, or like also too, like one of the things I love to eat, I love mashed potatoes, but I can't eat that as like just a meal, especially being vegetarian. There's not a lot too that's sometimes on my dinner plate for Thanksgiving because I don't eat meat. So Thanksgiving is just one of those meals where when your main course is turkey and you don't eat it, there's not a lot, which is why I've started incorporating mac and cheese into our Thanksgiving dinner, because I like that and I can eat that. And that's what we did for dinner tonight, which I think I've actually perfected my mac and cheese recipe today. I ended up doing it, I actually put it in the broiler. Like, I got the top nice and crispy. It was good. But I will say, so there was totally on a side note, guys, totally off topic here. There was this place that me and Matthew ended up going to. Me, Matthew, and two of my cousins went to like their sort of like summer, not summer camp, but like it was a farm. It was actually an 1890 like living like recreation, sort of not recreation, but like living farm kind of thing. They did everything back like they would have done in 1890, and so it's like a living, you know, historical, you know, place. Like, I mean, it's, you know, historic. Like, it was originally a farm in 1890, and they do a lot of the same things, you know, like they'll have different, like, you know, like demonstrations. Like, they do like the like in the winter time, they'll cut like the ice off the pond and store it for like the ice box. Then in the summer, like that kind of stuff, you know, for using, you know, like the fridge, and, you know, like again the ice box, which is actually where the name ice box comes from. Only my grandma I ever really knew that called it that. Instead of calling it a freezer, you'd call it an ice box, and that was because you would actually put the block of ice in the ice box, which was the, you know, kind of refrigerator, but that was how you kept everything cold. So anyways, though, like, and how they like would keep it cold, like with the sawdust and all that kind of stuff, it basically is like Little House on the Prairie, potentially. Like, the way I always saw it was like Farmer Boy. If you ever read Farmer Boy, it was basically that. And so it was really cool. But when we did the summer camp, it was like a bunch of kids, and you would get to do kind of like, I think it was like 3 stations like earlier in the day. And so one of them was you actually got to cook in the summer house, the summer kitchen. And like, because the summer kitchen was kept away from the main house in the summer, and you would cook in there so that you didn't heat the main house up. So we, you know, would like you know, cook in there with like one of the cooks who was, you know, again too, like again too, they were like all dressed in like period pieces and stuff like that. So very cool. But we would do like a bunch of different stuff, like farm work, which was like, you know, again too, I remember one time we had to like get the sheep, you know, like into the pasture, and there was like, you know, we would do like feeding the different animals, like that kind of thing. And so again though, the one thing that I remember a lot of was doing like the kitchen work. Like, we actually churned butter and, you know, like I said, a whole bunch of stuff like that. But the one thing they made was macaroni and cheese. And they gave you actually a recipe book of all the things that like they made over the course of that, like, you know, summer or whatever. And one of the things was the mac and cheese, and it was in this recipe book. And we had, because me and Matthew both went for 2 years, we had probably 4 of them. I cannot find any of them, and that was my favorite, from what I can remember, my favorite macaroni and cheese recipe, because the top of the cheese was so crispy. It was like, not crispy, but just like baked, and like it was so amazing. And I loved that recipe so much, and I can't find either of those recipes. And I don't know if they have like a recipe book that they sell, because they have like a gift shop also too. I don't know if they sell that still, and I don't know if they'd have the recipe either. Like, if I went and was like, do you guys have a recipe for mac and cheese that you used to make like a long time ago here? But I'm assuming, because again too, everything that we were making was pretty like accurate to, again, the time, like the mac and cheese, I'm wondering if they still like make it with, like, you know, if they still do like that summer camp kind of thing. But like I said, it was so good, and like I have not been able to recreate it exactly like we did like at there, like, and I can't get the top right, if that makes sense too, like the crispy sort of like top, like the cheesy top. I can't get it right, and I've tried, but I really like this kind that I just did today, this sort of mac and cheese recipe, but it kind of came at the expense of my arm today, which, like I said, was not fun. But like I said, the recipe for that was just, it was absolutely amazing. So that was honestly one of the most fun times I ever had. Like, I loved that. Like, I loved that time period. Like, I just liked everything that was kind of involved with that. And I love history so much too, that like, you know, like I said, it was one of the things too that I think really also made me like kind of history also, because like getting to like see the house from back then and like how everything actually worked. And like I'd go there, you know, again on like, you know, kind of field trip stuff or whatever. My mom would take me, you know, that kind of thing. And like, but it was just different actually getting to do the hands-on stuff in like, you know, during that summer when we got to do that, was, I just thought was so amazing. And I loved that so much. So like we even like did ice cream like in the like bucket, you know, like where you have to like hand crank the ice cream. Like we ended up making it. Like I said, it was just a lot of really cool, really fun stuff that I love. And like we got to go in the gardens, and you know, like I said, it is a lot of stuff that I do today, and I still use, like, again, to a lot of our gardening techniques and things like that are just things that like are more old school, I guess, kind of. And like, you know, again, too, like some of that stuff was things that like I learned, or, you know, again, too, just kind of picked up on, or, you know, like, again, saw. And again, too, I was little at the time, but there was a lot of things that like just kind of learned from like doing it while you were there, and certain things like that, which, like I said, I thought was just really cool. So I don't churn my own butter though. That's one thing I don't do. I have made homemade ice cream before. We did it as a science experiment, I think, when I was babysitting a while ago, but I still have the ice cream salt, like the ice cream salt rocks. I still have those, and I still don't know what to do with them, because like I'm not making homemade ice cream anymore right now. So cool thing is though, is that the one thing I've wanted to get is that KitchenAid actually makes a base to make your own homemade ice cream in. It doesn't involve the salt rocks though, the ice cream salt, but I think you freeze the base. It's like the KitchenAid bowl, you freeze the base, and then when you go to mix it, because it's cold like that, it's the same kind of like technology that you would have used in the 1890s, where, you know, how it's cold, and, you know, but the idea of that is that you use it with the salt and everything, is how you actually like get the temperature like that to actually make the ice cream. But it's, like I said, kind of a little bit of the same technology, in that you end up, you know, again, too, spinning the cream kind of to make the ice cream. But I really wanted one of those for a really long time, but it still wouldn't use up my my ice cream, the salt that I have. But anyways though, today was, I had to make my grocery list for all of the stuff that we need for 4th of July and all those kind of things. You know, for, like I said, those things. I don't think we had to bring anything actually to my cousin's on Saturday, but it's just like that, plus again too, it's just everything that's kind of going on this week just seems like sort of a lot, and then just like regular grocery shopping. So what I tried to do to kind of, I guess, keep things a little bit more simpler for myself as well, is that we're gonna try and go to the grocery stores that I have deals at and deals with. Then whatever I'm able to get, because again too, possibly stock and, you know, that kind of thing might dictate then how things are going to change and what we might have to do and pick up. Because originally we were going to go to Meijer and Aldi tomorrow, and I was like, okay, well, if I literally would be going to Aldi probably first before Meijer too, and I was like, but what if, you know, again too, I'm planning on getting XYZ thing at this store, they don't have it, or they don't have enough, then I have to go and make a separate trip out to Aldi again to go and pick up those things that I need. So I was like, let's wait, let's push Aldi back to after we go to Jewel on Sunday, which I think is when we're gonna go. Potentially maybe we'd go on Saturday, but again, something like that. And me and my mom are gonna go to Walmart and to because I have to get some stuff at Walmart and Meijer tomorrow. My dad is gonna try and go to Tony's and Caputo's tomorrow, if not on Friday. And then we'll try and go to Jewel either Saturday or Sunday, Jewel and Aldi. And then, like I said, by that time I can have a full list of everything that we don't already have or we haven't planned on or whatever. Because like I have the general idea, but then again too, if I'm like, okay, this stuff isn't on sale here or whatever, you know, again, I have to kind of figure things out as far as that goes. So I can do that a little bit better if I know what I already have, and going to those stores, getting the deals and stuff like that, I think first will be a little bit better for me. So like I said, I was stressing out today a lot just over all the stuff that kind of was going into everything. And I was like, you know what? I ended up making my Meijer list, and I was like, honestly, a good portion of the stuff that I was kind of looking at, my mom had suggested and stuff like that, is all stuff I can actually get at Meijer. So I was like, okay, we don't have to worry so much about, like I said, a couple of things that originally I was like, oh my goodness, I have to try and find a deal for this, or if I can't find it, you know, we have to get it at Aldi, whatever. Like that took a little weight off my shoulders. And then having to, you know, and then I did Tony's and Caputo's and was like, okay, there's still some more stuff here that would work out really well. And like I said too, just because it's not just our small immediate family, I can't just be like, oh, we don't have enough food, you know, whatever, you know, or something like that. Or like I said, I don't know, just because again, we're entertaining a little bit more than, like I said, just, you know, the 5 of us in our house. You know, I have to try and figure out a little bit more kind of stuff to do as well. And then the same thing too with, like, because we're going to be grilling, and then also grilling at my aunt and uncle's. Like I said, that we'd probably bring like my burgers with to my aunt and uncle's house, you know, like separately. And then like the also for the 4th of July too, like again, I have to make sure that I have something for myself, otherwise I'm eating probably just like pasta salad or something like that, because I don't think, I might have one package of like hamburgers out in the freezer, but other than that I think I'm literally out of everything. So but again, I found a really great deal actually on a big like 6-pack of like the Impossible burgers at Meijer, whereas like I looked at Walmart's price, it's half the price I can get at Meijer this week, and they're like only a little over $1 per patty, which is really almost unheard of when it comes to like plant-based like burgers. Normally that's a really good price actually. So like I said, I was actually very happy with that. But again, to like some of those things, again, I was like, okay, I have to try and find a deal, but at the same time too, I'm like, I can't forget, you know, because it wasn't something that was like again too, if I'm like, okay, we need burgers or whatever, I'm not thinking burgers for myself. Like I'm just kind of like, you know, again, whatever, you know, we just need hamburgers, you know, regular beef burgers, and I'm not thinking like that, or I'm not thinking like, oh, what are the other ingredients we need for a pasta salad? Like I'm, you know, again, not thinking of that. And so like when I make my pasta salad, we normally do like this suddenly salads like from Betty Crocker, but I add a lot of extra stuff in there to make it kind of my own creation. I really just use it for the pasta, so I don't have to buy separate pasta. And the seasoning mix, I just like having their seasoning mix, although literally I could probably just use regular Italian seasoning mix, or just Italian dressing, like bottled dressing, and don't have to go through all the hassle of doing that. But like I said, I just like doing it that way, and it works, whatever. But like I said, and I know 2 boxes exactly feeds, like it's a really good size like pasta salad amount for like kind of like a party. So like I said, I prefer to do it that way. Again, probably could be, I don't know if it'd be easier, but just probably just as much work just doing it from, I guess, kind of not scratch, but just not getting those ones. But like the thing was is that I'd actually looked at Aldi, I think the last 2 weeks, because I knew my mom said we were going to bring that to my aunt and uncle's house on the 8th. And so I was like, I looked at Aldi and they were out. Meijer actually has them on sale this week. So like I said, once I kind of was like more relieved that, like, again, knowing that I'd been looking for this stuff and we were going to do it for the 4th of July in my aunt and uncle's house, I was like, I can't find these. I was like, what if no Aldi has them, you know? And so like I said, now that I actually see that that Meijer has them on sale, I'm like, okay, I can relax a little bit, because I was again freaking out a little bit, because I was like, what if there's certain things that I can't find at certain places, and then I have to go and try and find them other places or whatever. And so I think this is all, I don't know, just maybe I was stressing out a little too much over stuff I didn't need to. But it was like once I kind of started going with everything, I started to not stress out as much, and I just kind of got it done. And again too, like when it's just, seemed like it was overwhelming just like making the list, and then too again kind of figuring out what my mom needed as well and what her plans were for the 4th of July and stuff like that, because I was just gonna go with whatever they have on sale at the stores is what we're doing. My mom was like, I have a whole list of all this stuff that I want to do, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, try and figure this out or whatever. But like I said, now I think we kind of, you know, anything extra that we can't get, we'll get it at Aldi. And then if we can't find that at Aldi, we can always make another trip out to like Walmart, maybe super early in the morning, like on Monday or something like that, because I think my dad's actually off work on Monday. So if there's like any last minute things that I still can't get at Aldi, we can always pick up on Monday. It's just my biggest problem with the whole thing is the grocery stores being super busy, like normally a week and kind of right before like a big holiday like the 4th of July is, like I said, gets a little crazy. There's a lot of people, so that's why too my dad was like, I don't want to go to Tony's and Caputo's on Friday because it's probably going to be really busy. I still think it's going to be busy like in the afternoon on Thursday, probably still be busy, but you know, my dad thinks probably, and I would probably assume too, maybe a little less busy than on Friday, so that's why he's going to try and go tomorrow. So anyways, I need to get to bed though so me and my mom can go. We're planning on going at like 10 o'clock. I went to bed early last night and I could not get up for the life of me this morning. Like I woke up still super late, hoping that I can get to bed so I can, you know, wake up to go to the grocery stores tomorrow and go to those 2 places. But again too, just so long as I like get one store out of the way, I feel like then I can be like, okay, this is a little bit easier. But I don't remember what holiday it was for. Maybe Easter, I think. I told you guys, I was like, everything for Easter was just so smooth and like it was just super simplistic, and for some reason like I have no clue why, and like now I feel like I'm like maybe adding more stress than I should be to like 4th of July, like whereas like it could be as easy if I just let it be, but I feel like I'm like hyping it up so much more because I really love 4th of July. It's one of my favorite holidays. It's one of, like I said, my favorite, you know, like food holidays, and so I really like to entertain with food on the 4th of July, and I think that's why I'm like stressing myself out more, because I'm like, we have to have this, we have to have that, you know, we have to do pasta salad, we have to have the watermelon, we have to have the corn, we like, there's a lot of things that I feel like I said I'm just kind of stressing out over, and then all of the kind of events that are going on around that as well. But like I said too, I think Easter was the same as Matthew's like fraternity thing on like the Saturday before, and yet I wasn't really stressing out about it, and for some reason I don't know why I'm stressing out more about this whole like 4th of July thing. I think more than I should. Like I said, I think I'm putting I don't want to say pressure, but I feel like I'm just putting more like too much thought into it, whereas I'm like, this could be just as easy if I just kind of let it be easy, just kind of letting things, you know, figure things out sort of as they come. And just, you know, again too, like I guess the other thing is that like I was like, okay, well, like we'll do hamburgers. I don't have any hamburgers currently out in the freezer, so Tony's has them on sale this week, but they're the only store that has hamburgers, like pub burgers, on sale. Normally Jewel has them on sale, but they didn't have them on sale. And like Aldi too, they'll have like their 10-pack for like $10 or whatever. They don't have them on sale either, so I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like if that store doesn't have it, then we have to go to Frozen Burgers, and like we kind of wanted to do something a little bit nicer, so I was like, then maybe do we do brats? Like I don't know. So like I said, I'm just like, that's one of the things too. And then they have chicken on sale, and I was like, maybe I could do chicken skewers like in addition to kind of the burgers or whatever. But then I was like, but if they don't, my mom was like, well, we can always just do regular chicken on the grill as well. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do, you know, like again too, it's like, I guess that thought of like, what if one store doesn't have something, it was kind of something we planned around, you know, then I have to kind of figure out where to go from there. And I guess that's maybe more, I think, where my train of thought is kind of like tripping me up a little bit right now. And that's why I think I'm stressing out a little bit. So long as, like I said, we can just, you know, that's why I was like, we just need to figure out what we can get at the stores. Then when we can't figure out what we can, you know, again, the sales and deals and stuff like that, then after that, figure out what else is going on. So I think from there, everything will be smooth. But we'll just get Meijer out of the way tomorrow and Walmart, and then we can, like I said, kind of hopefully move on. Things will be a little smooth from there as well. But anyways, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.